Masahiro Tanaka, 24-0 last year, a sub-2 ERA. He was a top pitcher in Japanese baseball, and he has been cleared for liftoff to play in the majors this season. The question is where? Well, here are some tweets about the latest with Tanaka, who came to the U.S. last week for a visit. The Yankees, Dodgers, and Angels are finalists to sign Tanaka, according to Sports Hoji. Tanaka has returned to Japan after meeting with 8 to 9 teams in SoCal. Japanese reports the Yankees, Chicago White Sox, or Cubs rather, and Arizona especially had meeting. And consensus in Japan right now is that Yankees and Dodgers are favorites on Tanaka, and word is his wife prefers to be on the West Coast. So there are some ideas about Tanaka as we welcome you back to the Yogi Berra Museum and Learning Center. Let's talk a little more about Masahiro Tanaka. And Jack, it was quiet over the holidays with him, we know. He came to the U.S., had these meetings, but still really quiet, and we're still a couple weeks away maybe from a resolution. It's still quiet, and I think Casey Close, his agent, wants to keep it that way. And I think in some of his conversations with teams, they're trying to keep this as confidential as possible. But some of the information that has leaked out, Bob, is what we had thought all along. Yankees and the Dodgers, marquee franchises and places where he would be able to go and fit right in, are at the top of the leaderboard. And I think this is a guy, we've said it over and over, the Yankees wants this guy. They want to be able to inject him into their rotation. And the 2014 Yankees look a lot different if you can put Tanaka into that rotation.
There's no question he would help this rotation. He would add depth, and it would maybe take some of the pressure off some of the other guys in the rotation, having another guy that can give you that amount of innings. And you still don't know exactly how he's going to translate from the Japanese league over here to the States, but he's still going to be an upgrade from what you would have in there right now. But the problem is this decision really isn't up to the Yankees. It isn't up to the Dodgers. It's up to Tanaka. He has his choice here where he wants to go. And yes, money is going to play a huge role in that. But you heard the Dodgers over the weekend saying, look, we're not going to let this guy go. But they also have to sign Clayton Kershaw, and that's going to cost them upwards of $300 million. So you wonder, at what point in time are they going to stop spending just a little bit? So I think that might need to be taken into consideration. But it's clear the Yankees are going after this guy.
You know, from a catcher's point of view, obviously the strikeout-to-walk ratio for him very good, so he has great command, but he just throws that hammer of a splitter that just dives. What's it like catching a guy like that?
Well, I'll tell you what, the split is a devastating pitch, and he throws hard, and he can locate his fastball. All the scouting reports are off the charts. Like Meredith said, there's going to be a transition to Major League Baseball and how to get Major League hitters out. We've heard that he throws so many pitches that you're actually going to have to tighten down his pitch selection. The numbers are off the charts. But a few things jump out for me, and you talked about the numbers and the contract and how much money he's going to get. Hideki Matsui played with the New York Yankees, and I think he's kind of a wild card in this. Can he talk to Tanaka and tell him what it's all about to play in New York, how to be a star in New York? And then the other thing that kind of comes into the equation, his wife likes L.A., and you're married, Bob? I'm married. Jack, you're married. Meredith, you're on your own. But a happy wife is a happy life, right? Now, so it'll be interesting to see how much pull she has in this negotiation.
That was a report that's out there, but we also heard that about CC Sabathia 4 years ago.
Right. That could be a marketing ploy, or a negotiating ploy, I should say, that you get that out there and maybe it makes the Yankees want to pull her a little closer to New York. And I still think that a happy wife would be very happy with the dollar signs of that contract as well. But you bring up some good points about Matsui. There's actually a picture that is circulating. He visited Yankee Stadium as a high school pitcher and shook hands with Hideki Matsui, and he has this big, bright smile on his face. I just have a gut feeling that the Yankees aren't going to let this guy get away because of all the things we've talked about. That splitter is unbelievable. The numbers he had over in Japan are unbelievable. Yes, we have to see how that translates over here. The offenses are so much better. But I think that this guy comes over here and is a 1A to a 2 in a rotation.
You know, it's funny you mentioned Matsui because Hiroki Kuroda said that during last season he had a little chat with Matsui about coming back, whether he knew it was over or not. Matsui said, I left it all out there, and Kuroda didn't feel he was at the same place, and he's coming back.
And he decided to come back, and that was a lot of thought, whether or not, one of the things in him coming back, he wanted to know if the Yankees were going to go out there, get more players, if they were going to be able to contend this year. And I think with the moves they made, we can all agree that's what they're striving for. They're looking to win another championship. So I think that needs to be taken into consideration, maybe which team is better suited to win at the end of the year. I think that might be one of the things. But you mentioned Kuroda. He could be another recruiting tool, and some of the other guys on that team as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in the next couple of weeks.
By the way, there's also a future Hall of Famer in Ichiro on the team as well right now. I wonder if that would have an impact.
He has a reduced role. Right now you're looking at him as a defensive replacement, pinch runner type, but we know that for a Japanese baseball player, of his age, watching Ichiro, of course, Ichiro is one of the greatest Japanese players ever. So to be able to rub elbows with him, be in the same clubhouse, it's just one more thing. If you're the Yankees, you hope it tilts things in your favor.
Again, January 24th is the final date for negotiations. Jack, you still think it goes down to the wire here?
I think it does, because really they only had a month, and then they lost about a week for the holidays. So I think it goes right until January 24th. And if you're Casey Close and you're doing your job, I think you take it until January 24th, unless there's an offer that is so much better than everyone else's and you know you're not going to exceed it. But what are we, 11 days away right now? So I definitely think it'll go down to it.
By the way, before we go to break, there were reports out there that Meredith was on the verge of a 6-year, $200 million contract to pitch. And then you did that to your foot. That's your push-off foot.
I'm not going to pass the physical right now, I'll be honest. A plate and 4 screws, but we'll be back by spring training.
By the way, that is a lovely shoe you're wearing.
It is great. It's in for 2014.
Open toe. You can even wear open toe sandals during the winter season.